water. It juts out into the harbor.
Right.
And it's next door to all of the other development that has been built down in our third city. Remember, we used to have two cities. Now we have a third city.
Yeah, we had the inner harbor and everything away from the inner harbor. Now we got Harbor West and Harbor East.
Right.
So and then I guess Uptown is Harbor Least, huh?
Harbor Least. That's what we got. Right.
Please
so
continue.
I said that this is the most prime property in the city.
Right.
Jay Brody cut me off, and he said, respectfully, Councilman, this is the most prime property in the United States of America.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right.
So if it's that special,
right,
how come they need taxpayer dollars?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
To build it, to develop it.
That's right.
If it's prime property, then walk into the bank and say, Mr. Banker,
I need a loan.
I've got the most prime property in the United States of America.
Right.
I have a $120 million lease in my hand for Exelon. Exelon's already agreed to a $120 million lease for 15 years.
Yes, sir.
Morgan Stanley is on the property. They've agreed to a lease.
Right. Morgan Stanley. And
they're now saying that they need. Now, the worst of this, that wasn't the worst of it. We still got 3 more minutes?
Yeah, we still got about 7 more minutes.
Okay.
Well, please continue.
That's not the worst of it.
Yes.
There is something called the Enterprise Zone in Baltimore and around the state.
Yes.
Enterprise Zone means that if you are in an area that has a designation of Enterprise Zone, that for 10 years you get a property tax break of 80%.
So
you
wait
get
a minute now.
80% off your taxes.
So you got TIF or pilot, and then on top of that, the Enterprise Zone.
Enterprise Zone.
Man.
So
this beyond welfare.
It is.
You was too kind calling it welfare.
Absolutely too kind.
Yes, sir.
So when you get when you call this Enterprise Zone, there one of 3 things that you must be in your area. One is you have to be surrounded by poverty. You have to be a depressed neighborhood.
Right.
You have to have low employment in your neighborhood.
Right.
So if you're in an area that is depressed, much poverty,
that's what it was set up for.
Low jobs, then you can be designated
as Enterprise Zone
to spur development.
Right.
Not a bad idea.
Right.
For 20 years, and they relook this every 10 years.
Right.
You get them in 10-year bites.
Yes, sir.
So for 20 years, so 2 terms, Inner Harbor was called depressed, undeveloped. And so it got a designation as an Enterprise Zone, paying 20% of their taxes, property taxes.
Yes.
Getting a break for 80%. This year, the state, listen to this for me, the state and BDC said, according to the rules, Harbor Point does not qualify to be an Enterprise Zone.
Yes.
Not poverty, not depressed, not low income, low jobs.
Low jobs.
So they can no longer call themselves Enterprise Zone.
Right.
So we passed the bill. They weren't in the bill. 6 months later, they appealed that designation. They said that they wanted to be, again, an Enterprise Zone. What the BDC did, the Baltimore Development Corporation, a function of the city government.
Yes,
supposedly. What they did was, so they took the census tract.
They took our numbers. They took our numbers in terms of the black numbers and the black bodies.
They took the census tract of Harbor East.
Yes.
They went through Little Italy. They didn't pick up anybody in Little Italy.
Right.
They went right up Caroline Street.
Well, what it used to be Flag House.
And when they got up to Bank Street, they enveloped
Perkins
Homes.
Yes, sir. Perkins Homes. So they got the behinds, but they don't want the mines. They got the bodies for the numbers in the dough.
Right.
But they don't want to. They don't want to really hire those people.
So now they captured all of these African Americans living in the housing project.
Yes.
Impoverished.
Yes.
Children, no after school, no recreation, no gymnasium.
Yes.
Nothing. No jobs for moms and dads.
Right.
But now, because they took that census tract and added it to theirs.
Criminal.
Now they said that they're impoverished.
Now they can get that Enterprise Zone.
They depressed.
Right. Now, who was the lobbyist for that? Was that Jones and Malone, too? I just got to ask if you know, Councilman.
The lobbyists was Baltimore City.
Yeah, the lobbyist was Baltimore City.
Okay.
The mayor of the city of Baltimore.
They didn't need to pay for lobbyists.
They didn't have to pay. They
had Baltimore Development Corporation
yes, sir.
working for them.
All right. We're going to have to wrap up in about 3 minutes. You got to promise me, man, we can get back on.
We'll
come back tomorrow. We got to come back
Today
next
was
week.
a little bumped up for me.
It's so much to this, and this is just one of the stories I wanted to get into.
Yeah, and this is sinful. This is shameful. I mean, this is immoral. I can't say all the words it is, but to use the African American living in poverty in a housing project to claim that they're in a depressed area. And by the way, Doc, understand that Perkins Home is not next to Harbor Point.
That's right.
You got to go through Little Italy.
That's right.
To get to Harbor Point. I mean, get to from Perkins Home.
Yes, sir.
You have to skip over an entire Little Italy, which is not poverty either, to claim that this other neighborhood is adjacent to your neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
I need people to be on the street on this.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, when is this? What's the next plan of action on this one?
Okay, they need me to call a hearing so we can talk about it. I haven't called the hearing yet because I said I need all of your financial records, Mr. Beatty.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Beatty said that's proprietary.
What?
I said, Mr. Beatty, if you're spending your dime for a private development, you don't have to tell me anything.
That's right.
But if you spending $107 million of Baltimore City taxpayer money, you got to tell me everything.
Yeah, but that's Michael Beatty. We're going to reach out to him, see if we can get a conversation.
Yeah,
see if he'd like
have
to come
a conversation.
on. See if he'd like to come on and share that with some brothers and sisters and the families in Perkins Homes and some of those other poor people that are in East Baltimore that they wouldn't even offer them up a Thanksgiving meal. You understand?
And I asked them, what were they going to do? Oh, I didn't mention this.
They're closing the schools in that neighborhood, and he won't lift a finger to help them.
Right. What I didn't mention, Brother Darren, is for taking the lives of and the status of the African-American citizens, residents of Perkins, Mr. Beatty is getting a $53 million tax break.
Yes, sir.
$53 million. That's on top of the $107 that they're asking for.
Yes, sir. So that's so if we do the math, that's 100. That's six total of six. I'm looking at total of probably 660. Probably I got to do the math and come back and give that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Doc,
when you get past $100,000, I get fuzzy on my math.
Yes, sir. Let's give you contact information, Councilman Stokes. But we got to get you back on.
We'll be back.
I mean, next week, if not tomorrow, next week
we'll be
to
back.
Get into this, man, because we want to make sure that we turn this hearing up and out and get as many people there from Perkins Homes and East Baltimore and West Baltimore.
Yes.
Because what they're doing is beyond welfare and beyond, from my perspective, criminal in terms of using the body count and using the bodies and to enrich themselves right now.
That's right.
And so that's wrong.
It is. I agree. I agree. It is criminal. Somebody ought to take the court.
Bringing that to our attention. And, we have to use all those ingredients of litigation, legislation, communication, education, and when necessary, the confrontation as well. So let's give them your contact information where you can be reached.
I'm at 410-396-4811. If you can't reach me directly, David Brown is my chief of staff, and everybody knows David.
Yes, sir.
And also email carl.stokes at Baltimore City, one word, baltimorecity.gov, G as in government, O-V.
All right. I thank you very much for checking in. I'll give you a call after the show, all right?
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Councilman.
Take care of yourself.
Go in peace now.
Bye-bye.
All right,
Thanks
bye-bye.
for bringing the message to the people.
You're quite welcome. Promise we will. With that, we're going to wrap up, get up out of here. I thank, of course, the manager, Gene, for giving us the extra 10 minutes. But you heard it from the councilman yourself, man, and we're going to hopefully get him back on next Tuesday, soon and very soon, to go deeper into this message that we shared with you today, man. But this is just wrong. This is wrong when you got millionaires trying to become billionaires off the backs of the poor, and yet they're going to tell you about what's happening in another city or another state. So we up out of here. We'll thank our sponsors tomorrow. Stay tuned for more great radio. We do need your support because where else are you going to get this kind of information, this truth with the proof up in the booth? So make your checks, money, orders payable to WFBR. WFBR, send it to 159 8th Avenue, Glen Burnie, Maryland, 21061, or do a righteous drive-by, put it in an envelope, and drop it off the Terra Cafe. So until tomorrow, 12 noon, God bless. All the best, and the rest to you and yours. Thank you, Sister Jean. Peace.
The views expressed